Okay, in this screencast, I'm going to show you the vocabulary that you need to describe these 4 graphs. So here we go. Okay, so let's take a look at this first graph. We've got sales in Asia on the top and we've got sales in Europe on the bottom. Let's just take a quick look around the graph. Groovy 3D for you. Alright, so this is obviously describing an upward trend. If we look at the sales in Asia, that's clearly an upward trend. And the increase was kind of steady throughout the year, but if we think of the start point 2008 and the end point 2014, I think we could say there was a dramatic rise in sales. We could say that throughout the period 2008 to 2014, sales shot up, perhaps, or sales climbed dramatically, all describing upward trends. If we compare that with Europe, then it's not such a dramatic rise, is it? There's a little bit of an increase over this time period. How would we say that? We could say that sales increased slightly from 2008 to 2014. Sales increased slowly year on year, perhaps. So looking at the next graph, we've got customer complaints in a restaurant somewhere. Probably didn't want to visit this restaurant in 2006 because there was 100 complaints per year. But as we see, we've got a downward trend in this line graph. Let's just take a quick tour of it with the Groovy 3D. How can we describe this downward trend? What verbs can we use? Maybe fall, decrease, decline, plunge, or plummet for this region. So, from 2006 to 2009, there was a gradual decline in the number of complaints. From 2010 onwards, there was a severe drop in the number of complaints. There was a dramatic fall. There was a drastic decline. There was a sudden decrease. All those verbs and adverbs can describe this for you. What about from 2009 to 2010? The number of complaints stayed the same. The number of complaints leveled off. So in this graph we've got a comparison of the UK and Spain, and what are we looking at? Central heating usage, the average number of hours each week per home. How much were people using the heating on average in each house in the respective countries? This is a bar graph. Let's take a quick look at it. Oh, look at that. There we go, up and down, yeah, underneath. Superb. Alright. So Q1, the first quarter, January, February, March, April, May, June, Q2, and so on. Third quarter, fourth quarter, Q4. And here's the number of hours, the average number of hours that the central heating was used. So in Q1 in the UK, we had a peak of usage at 90 hours. Where was the opposite? That's going to be Q3. So we could say the usage bottomed out in the UK in Q3. And what do we see? There was a dramatic downward trend. If we compare Q1 and Q3 in the UK, there was a massive drop in usage of central heating. And from Q3 to Q4, there was a marked there was a drastic increase in central heating usage. And what about Spain? It's kind of similar pattern. Maybe in Q4. In Q4 and Q1, it's a different pattern, isn't it, to the UK there. If we look at Spain, then we can say, unlike the UK, the peak was in Q4, peak usage, and it bottomed out in Q3, and again there was a sudden or sharp decrease over the year, or over Q1 to Q3 in the central heating usage. There was a significant drop between Q1 and Q3. And here we have a classic graph, the ice cream sales throughout the year. So let's take a look at it. Do you remember how we said this? We can use the verbs leveled off, to stabilize, to remain constant, stayed the same, stabilized. Here we've got an upward trend. So from January to March there was a drastic increase in the number of ice cream sales. May to June, astonishing number. The ice cream sales went up an incredible amount between May and June. The ice cream sales rose significantly between May and June. From June to August, there was a steady increase. After August, there was a significant drop through to September in ice cream sales. After September, there was a sudden or a steep decline in the number of sales, which continued through October, November and December until the end of the year. So how would you describe this graph? We've got downloaded songs per day, the number of downloaded songs per day in thousands, and then we've got MP3 players sold per year in your country in thousands. So there are some clear and distinct trends happening here. Can you describe them? Leave a comment in the box below and a teacher will mark your comment for you for accuracy. Good luck! You can follow SGI on all popular social media. Learn English with us on Facebook, on Google+, we are on Twitter. There is a student blog with videos, competitions, podcasts, and all of our English course details are on our main website.